Have you ever had a moment where it felt like life was ripping everything you loved away from you, one by one? Imagine losing your job, your home, your children, your health, your dignity, all in the same season. That's not just tragedy. That's devastation. And yet this is the story of a man named Job. Job wasn't just an ordinary man. He was known as the most righteous man of his time. He was wealthy, respected, and had a large family. Life seemed perfect. But in the heavenly realm, a conversation took place. Satan challenged God, claiming that Job only served him because of his blessings. "Take everything away from him," Satan said, "and he will curse you to your face." And so, with God's permission, Job's world was turned upside down. In a single day, messengers came one after another, each bringing news worse than the last. Raiders attacked his servants, his livestock gone. Fire from the sky consumed his sheep, his camels were stolen. And then, the unthinkable. A strong wind struck the house where his children were feasting. The house collapsed. Every single one of Job's children died. Job's grief was unimaginable. Can you picture him? Collapsing to the ground, heart shattered, sobbing uncontrollably. And yet, in that very moment of heartbreak, Job fell to his knees and worshipped. He said, "The Lord gave, and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." But the trials weren't over. Satan came again, and this time Job's health was attacked. Painful boils covered his entire body. He was in such agony that he sat in ashes, scraping his skin with broken pottery. Even Job's wife broke under the weight of their suffering. She told him, "Curse God and die." But Job refused. He said, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Then came Job's friends. At first, they sat with him in silence for 7 days, grieving alongside him. But later, they began to accuse him. "You must have sinned," they said. "Surely God is punishing you." Job defended his innocence. He poured out his pain to God, crying out with raw honesty. He questioned, he lamented, but he never cursed God. And here is the beauty of Job's story. Even in his confusion, even when he didn't understand why he was suffering, Job still clung to his faith. In Job 19:25, he declares, "I know that my Redeemer lives, and that in the end he will stand upon the earth." Eventually, God himself spoke to Job, not with answers, but with questions that reminded Job of God's power, wisdom, and sovereignty. Job humbled himself, acknowledging that God's ways are higher than ours. And in the end, God restored Job's fortunes. He gave him double what he had before: more wealth, more livestock, and more children. Job's latter days were more blessed than his beginning. But the true victory was not in what Job received back. It was in what Job never lost: his trust in God. Lessons for today. The story of Job is not just ancient history. It's a mirror for our own lives. We all face seasons of suffering. We all experience loss, pain, and moments where nothing makes sense. Job teaches us 3 powerful truths. Faith is tested in the fire. It's easy to trust God when life is good. True faith is proven when everything is falling apart and you still choose to worship. It's okay to be honest with God. Job cried out in anguish. He didn't hide his pain. God can handle your tears, your questions, and even your doubts. God's plan is bigger than your pain. You may not understand what you're going through now, but Job's story reminds us that God sees the whole picture, and he can redeem even the darkest season of your life. So today, whatever you're facing, heartbreak, loss, sickness, financial struggles, hold on to Job's words. "I know that my Redeemer lives." Your story isn't over. God is still in control, and he can bring beauty from your ashes.